Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Brethren, we thank God for His great power that is pushing us up the ladder of power and authority, the ladder of dominion, and how that is transforming our lives every day. I can see the transformation. I can see what the Lord is doing in every single life. And to Him alone be all the glory. Where you pray such volume of prayers, where you pray this type of powerful prayers, there is always something that will begin to happen. When you speak to the spirit realm so much, you speak to heaven, you will surely get feedback. The Lord will answer back. The Lord will speak back. And for most believers, for most Christians, the easiest way to reach them is through dreams. Some people have not developed other means of communication. There are so many other means of communication that the Lord can use to communicate with us. But the easiest one is dream. And as a result of that, when you pray this nature of prayers, you are going to see dreams. You are going to dream. You are going to see different kind of things. So that's why today, brethren, I want to talk to you on what I call immunity from negative dreams. Brethren, sometimes dreams can be negative. And in such a situation, you want to quickly know what to do. And because the enemies also understand that majority of Christians rely purely on dream for their own messages, for communication, it's easy for enemies to attack it. All they just need to do is to break into it, to hack into it. And they can manipulate so many things. They can corrupt it. They can attack in the dream. They can bring things, they can say things God is not saying. So that's why we want to pray these prayers today. Immunity from negative dreams. So some dreams might be negative in nature. Some dreams might not carry the kind of positive messages we are expecting. But you want to know what to do, whether they be positive, whether they be negative. I've taught you before in this church on how to deal with positive dreams. You remember that one? The power of sacrifice. When I taught you and I showed you through the scriptures, people that had dream, immediately they woke up, they raised altars. Immediately they came out of that dream, they raised altars. And those altars are very, very important if you have positive dreams. So you can listen to that message. So today we want to look at, if you have negative dream, how can you insulate yourself? How can you stop it from manifesting? How can you block the agenda of that dream from fulfilling in your life? Genesis 41, look at verse 8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. That's typical. Negative dreams trouble spirits. When you have negative dream, it always causes you trouble. You cause panic. You don't know what this is all about. So this was Pharaoh. This was Pharaoh. He had a dream and his spirit was troubled. Even though he didn't know the meaning, he didn't know the interpretation, but he knew it was not a good dream. His spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. So he told them the dream, but no, that's another stage of dream altogether. Interpretation of dream, understanding dreams, and what the Lord is trying to say, because dreams comes in what is called dark speeches, dark language. Dreams come in what you call spiritual language. It's coded. So you need to have understanding to be able to decode it and pick out the messages out of it. So Pharaoh had this dream, called for all the people that should have spiritual understanding, the magicians and so on, to interpret it. But they could not. They had no understanding also. So which means this dream did not come from their own realm. Are you with me? There are different realms where dreams originate from. And if you are going to deal with dreams, whether they be positive dream or negative dream, you have to deal with it at the realm. For example, if the dream comes from God, Jehovah God, and it's a positive dream or even a negative dream, it's a dream of warning. If you want to deal with it, you have to go to that source. You have to approach the Father himself, approach the throne of God and deal with the dream there. If the dream is from the enemy's camp, this magician will have been able to interpret it easily because it's from their constituency. They will have known what it meant. But they couldn't because it was not from their realm. It was far above them. So they were confused. Look at verse 14. Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph. So they brought somebody else from a different realm. They brought somebody from a completely different realm. And they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. Verse 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. So you now see, Joseph was saying, if the source of the dream is from my God, I know my God will give me understanding. He will give me the interpretation. So let me hear your dream. Now look at verse 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored. And they fed in the middle. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed. Such I've never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and all the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them all, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. So this was the first dream. No wonder the dream confused the magicians, because this is a very deep parable. This is a very deep spiritual language. Verse 22. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered thin and blasted with east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ear devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. Verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. He said both dreams, they are just one message. He said, God. Do you see the source of the dream? It's from God. He said, God. So assuming the dream was from a different source, from a different realm, Joseph will have told him who is speaking. He said, this language you had, which you couldn't understand, which your magicians couldn't understand, God is the one speaking. He said, God had showed Pharaoh what is about to happen. He said, something is about to happen. Brethren, dreams come in different forms. Sometimes it is for information. Sometimes it's for warning. Sometimes it's for promise. There are different topics, themes, and purposes of dreams. He said, this one is a warning. Something is about to happen. Something is about to happen. Verse 26. The 7 good kinds are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 17 and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. That's exactly how God behaves. Anything, the Bible says he will never do anything without showing it to his prophet. He will reveal it to his prophets. So where you have the prophets of God, they will have dreams. He will speak to them. Unfortunately, Pharaoh and his magician, they were not prophets. So that's why they couldn't understand the language of God. So he spoke to them in the language of the prophets, and they couldn't get it. He said he revealed to them what's about to do. Look at verse 29. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. This is a very negative dream. Very, very negative. It's a dream, if like you call it existential threat. The nation of Egypt could perish under this dream if they didn't handle it properly. That's why you want to know, how do you immune yourself? How do you isolate yourself? How do you cover yourself, protect yourself from negative dreams? So you now see that this dream, obviously, take note of this. Whether Pharaoh did anything or Pharaoh chose to ignore it, it will surely happen. It will surely come to pass. So what is left now is the action that should follow. Now look at what happened. So now look at what Joseph still told him. Verse 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. He said the Lord spoke it twice for a purpose. It is because the thing is already established in the spirit realm. He says it's established. There's nothing you can do to change it. It will surely happen. You know, sometimes we have dream 2 times. We have one dream. It repeats itself. The Lord is laying emphasis. He's telling you, this thing I'm saying is serious. This thing I'm saying is coming. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. It's very, very serious. So he said that's why the dream came in 2 different ways, so that you can get the seriousness of the message. And it will surely bring it to pass. Verse 3. Now therefore, look at the immunity I'm talking about. Because where there is a dream, where there is an interpretation, there must be a solution. So Joseph provided the solution. He didn't just interpret it and walk away. He told them how to insulate themselves, how to protect themselves, how to immune themselves from the impacts, from the consequences of this negative dream. Look at what he told them to do. He said, now therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man, discreet and wise, and let him set over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. Say, this is what you should do. Go and stock up. The years of plenty, you store the food. Don't waste it anyhow. Because the 7 years that is coming, that one will be too terrible. So that the land does not perish. So it's a negative dream. And the land could perish if they do not do something they should do. Verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants. Do you know, Pharaoh had choice here. Pharaoh had the choice to say, who is this? Who are you to advise? Are you my advisor? I have minister of finance here. I have minister of agriculture here. I have minister of national security in charge of food. National security in charge of... Who are you to come and advise me? I just called you to interpret dream for me. If Pharaoh ignored it, which was his choice anyway, they will meet it after 7 years. So that is what we are talking about. Immunity from negative dreams. Now look at what follows. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such one as this? A man in whom the Spirit of God is. They understand that the man was different from all of them. Pharaoh was able to discern that this person was not speaking by himself. He has the Spirit of God in him. Verse 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God has showed you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. So he appointed Joseph over that thing. And do you know that even in the midst of that famine, Egypt prospered? Because the whole earth were going there to buy food just by treating dream properly. By treating the dream properly. Handling the dream the way they should handle it. If they mismanaged that dream, that would have been it. Do you know other people perished through that dream? Do you know that Israel itself, Hebrew, the Jews, do you know that they migrated because of that famine? That famine uprooted them from their land and sent them to Egypt. Not only that, the other ones were not documented. Some tribes totally vanished under that famine. So what are we saying? The dreams you receive, how you deal with them, how you handle them matters a lot. Matters a lot. You know, there are some people that will come to me, tell me some dreams. I will tell them, you see this dream, go and type it in capital letter and turn the font to very large fonts and make it red and underline it and keep it safe. When I give you such interpretation, it means that God is telling you something very serious with that dream. Hold that dream tight. Don't let it slip from you. Because that dream is not ordinary dream. Especially if it is a negative dream and a warning dream. If Egypt mismanaged this dream, if Pharaoh mismanaged this dream, maybe out of pride, arrogance, ignorance, stupidity, or anything, they will have perished. So many believers, so many children of God, they suffer unnecessarily because of how they treated the dream God gave them. They might not remember. They might just say, I had such a dream, and I had a dream like this. They didn't know the meaning. They didn't care to find out, and they just brushed it aside and went away until that incident happened, until that thing happened. So, brethren, when dreams comes like that, I will still show you because we are going to pray some prayers today. Some of them, you might need to deal with them in prayers. You go back in the spirit realm where the dream originated from and you delete it from there. All the records in the spirit realm where the dream registered, you delete every record one by one so that the dream has no record. There's nowhere it's standing. And as such, the dream will never be able to manifest. If the dream has been spoken into the physical realm, into our earth, you need to delete it also from the earth so that it do not stand anywhere. I'm talking of negative dreams. You must take action. There are sometimes, brethren, you might need to even take some physical actions. Like you saw here, Pharaoh didn't say, well, let's go and organize prayer team. That would have been great, but there was nothing that would stop that famine. Joseph told them, he said it is already established. It will surely happen. So the next thing for them to do was simply do as heaven was instructing them. When we prayed which day, I was referring to something. I said the Father gave me a message. He gave that message before. Thank God we listened to that message. Now he's giving me that message again. He's giving me that message again. The summary of the message is, we should buy food and store food. Say hard time is coming. Hard time is on the way. So he wants us to store food. So begin to buy things that you can keep. Things that can last long. Begin to buy them and keep now. He told us this before. That was 2020, isn't it? 2020. It gave us that message before. And unfortunately, some of us, even the one we bought, we finished it even before the famine came. We finished it. So when he looked at us and he said, okay, don't worry. He said the kitchen of heaven will feed us. So now he's telling us again, make provisions. He told me that last week, showed me a lot of things. And when he finished showing me that, even this night again, this night, we went to market. We bought beans. We wanted to buy more beans, but there was no beans. The few ones that were there, we picked it. We wanted more, but it was finished. People were struggling even for the chaff of beans. People were struggling to buy the chaff. So let's take note of that message, though we are still going to pray about it. But let's do what the Lord wants us to do. I will still give you the second message before I finish this message. Daniel chapter 4. Daniel chapter 4. Look at verse 4. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. That is one thing. When you are at rest and you are flourishing, sometimes it's easy to disregard dreams. Because when you look at the kind of security you have around yourself, financial security, you have social security, you have all kinds of security around yourself, you will relax. And right before our eyes now, do you see that some of those security are vanishing bit by bit? Do you know there was a time that sitting down and taking benefit was something very wonderful? But now, do you see where it's heading to? With all these prices going up, with everything the government is doing now, collecting money from people who don't have any. So the security is disappearing. So you now see, so Nebuchadnezzar, he was at home, rest, he has built himself a kingdom, a palace, everything was fine, flourishing. Verse 5. I saw a dream. I saw a dream. Heaven decided to speak to him. Jehovah God decided to give him a message. He saw a dream which made me afraid. Nebuchadnezzar is not somebody given to fear. Doesn't become fearful all the time. So for him to become afraid, then you know something must be there. And the thought upon my bed and the vision of my head troubled me. Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation. Because of what? It's not from their realm. They can't understand it. This is from the third heaven. It's not from darkness. They couldn't. Verse 8. But at the last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee. Tell me the vision of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the vision of my head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the vision of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher, that's an angel of God, and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree, and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, scatter his fruits, let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Verse 15, nevertheless, leave the stump of his root in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dews of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth over it the bases of men. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof. For as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. Verse 19. Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was astonished for 1 hour. Daniel could not talk. He kept quiet for 1 full hour. And his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belteshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, which means it's a negative dream. It's not a good dream. It's a bad dream. He said, let this dream be to your enemies. And the interpretation thereof to thy enemies, verse 20, the tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwell, and upon whose branches the fowls of heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king. He said, that tree is you. He said, that tree you saw is you. That's your tree. Do you know every life has a tree? They call it the tree of destiny. The tree of destiny. I remember a young man that had a dream, and he saw a tree. The tree was so tall, but the whole body of the tree, there was no branch. The height of the tree is unreachable. It's only on the top you now see branches. And the tree carry all manners of fruit. The nature of the fruit is not common. The oranges could be as huge as this. And the tree bear all kinds of fruits. And they told him, say, this is the tree of your life. Do you see what the enemies have done? They deliberately pushed that tree up so that his hand can never reach the fruit. There's no how his hand can reach those fruits. You will need a special prayer to begin to enjoy the fruit of that destiny. So you now see, they say, King, that tree is you that are grown and become strong, and thy greatness is grown and reached to heaven, your dominion to the end of the earth. And because you saw a watcher and the Holy One coming down from heaven, saying, hew down the tree and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the root on the earth in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field, till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon the Lord the king, my Lord the king, that they shall drive you from men, and you will your dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. Now, which kind of prayer is he going to pray now? Because this is a decree of the watchers. The watchers are angelic beings that are assigned to watch over territories. Every community, every territory, every country, every locality have angels watching over them, reporting back to heaven. These angels have been watching him since he was born. And this is their judgment upon him. His wickedness, the cup of his wickedness is filled up. So they now decided there's no need, cut him down. So the decree is already gone out. Hew him down. And listen. If you were Nebuchadnezzar and you look at your majesty as the king of the Babylonian kingdom, they can be very proud. You saw Saddam Hussein, how he was doing it. This one was greater than that one. So the pride, when you saw the whole kingdom under your control, from India to Africa to Europe to everywhere, they are under your control. You control the Babylonian empire. So who is that to turn you to animal? It's not possible. Who is that will drive you out and go and make you to go and eat grass? It's not possible. So let's see what Daniel told him. Verse 26. Whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule. 27. Wherefore, say the advice. Wherefore, O king, let my counsel. Say, this is the only solution out of this situation. Joseph gave his counsel to Pharaoh. Pharaoh grabbed it. Pharaoh implemented it and saved the nation. Not only saved the nation, prospered the nation. This one also, the man of God, the prophet of God, say, I have a counsel for you. Please take my counsel. It's the only way out. He said, let my counsel be accepted unto thee. Break off thy sins by, he said, what you need now is righteousness. The only action that can turn this thing around, that can stop this negative dream, that can immune you from the impact of this dream, is begin to practice righteousness. Stop your wickedness. And thy iniquity by showing mercy. He doesn't show mercy to anybody. Remember what he said they should do to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? He said they should roast them with fire. You remember all his decrees. Any person that does little thing, he said they should cut the person in pieces. So he doesn't show any mercy to anybody. Daniel said, at least start now. Start now. Begin to show mercy. But do you know how he will interpret it? Me show weakness. To him, mercy is weakness. How can a whole Nebuchadnezzar begin to show mercy to anybody? And that's the only key out of his trouble. That's the only way out. If it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility. So Daniel has given him the key to immune himself from this negative dream, from this terrible dream. But he rejected it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He still continued with his wickedness. Still continued with his wickedness. And the day he did not expect, he just suddenly woke up and was still boasting, showing his pride. Suddenly he just went out and bent down. He never stood up again. Started to eat grass. They might think that the king is doing some sport. They will ask all the magicians, are you the people that divine this thing for him to do this one? Till they now realize that this thing is real. There was this publication in one medical journal of one man that suffered that sickness. Here, the patient will go out from the hospital ward, go into the hospital compound, bend down and be eating grass. And the doctor treating him said that he glorified the name of the Lord. That of all the physicians on earth, he's able to experience this thing that happened in the Bible. They just found maybe they gave him one Nebuchadnezzar name. So, because what will you say is wrong with the person? He's not sick in the body. You do all the tests, everything is fine. But he will just stand up, go to the field, eat grass, and come back. So you now see, brethren, that when messages like that come, don't throw it away, please. Don't deal with it carelessly. Hold it tight. If you don't know how to handle it, ask for counseling, so that you'll be guided in the right path and you'll be able to handle it the right way. Daniel was telling him this, look, this issue originated from the third heaven. It's a decision from Jehovah God himself. The only thing that can appease him is righteousness. The only thing that can appease Jehovah God is mercy. Begin to show mercy so that he will see you. As simple as that. What does it cost him to say, gather all the poor people in this land for me? They will gather them in few seconds. Bring all of them and say, make a banquet for us. I want to eat with the poor. He has started to show humility. With those kind of a thing, make decrees and say that all the poor of this land, I give you this. Those are the simple things he will have done. And saved himself all those trouble. Daniel told him, he said, righteousness and mercy, these are the two things you need. The second message the father gave me is this. He said, something terrible is coming. The way he showed me, it was a train. It was a train. And this train was coming. And they made the announcement that the train is like locomotive train. This one that smoke a lot. It was coming. And the whole town, everybody was running everywhere. Because they told people the impact of that train anywhere it passes. But the thing in that revelation was nowhere to hide. Nowhere to hide. You are running this direction to hide in that. People from the other direction are running towards you also. So you think you have gone into the bush. The bush we got to look at the train, railway line, pass there again. The train is going to follow there. Anywhere you go to, you see the railway line there. And before you know it, brethren, the train came. Everybody was choking and coughing. Choking. People could not breathe anymore. People were dying because of the smoke and everything coming out of that train. It was so deadly. It was so bad. And people were just, all I did was, I picked the fruit, maybe orange or something like that, and put it under my nose. And I was fine. I was just breathing that fruit. I didn't breathe the toxic gas. So what the father is telling us, fight this battle. This thing happening in Ukraine, no person knows yet which direction is going to go. They are dealing with a very, very proud man. They are dealing with somebody that's very stubborn. The last thing he wants to be labeled is a loser. That he went to that war and lost. The kind of media coverage the West will give it, I don't think he wants to face that humiliation. And there are two keys in his hand. There are two keys he's holding. Number one is energy politics, oil and gas. He has played that one already. It didn't give him the right result he was looking for. The remaining key is the atomic key. So we need to pray to stop all these things. Let's not assume. Let's not just come to church, go home and sleep. There's a reason for which the Lord is showing us all these things. Even the war alone, the impact with famine is separate. God forbid they should use deadly weapons. And we can stop it. Christians can stop it. Believers can stop it. We have the power. We have the authority. We have the dominion to do that. And that's what we want to do, brethren. That's what we want to do today. So let's close our eyes. This is just the one that is close to us. But because of the people who are connecting from different other countries, let me give them the third message. So that it will not be only those of us in Europe, those who are from Africa. The third revelation was about political slaughter. Political slaughter. I saw two governors in Nigeria, and they were telling their thugs, what are you waiting for? Stand up and slaughter people. They were pushing their thugs to stand up and begin to kill people. They said the killing is not enough. It's not enough. Stand up and kill more. So, brethren, because we have people also, members back home, that are connecting to our service all the time, we have to pray all these prayers. So in other words, that's why the Father is telling us that there's a lot in our hands. There's a lot He's expecting us to do. So let's close our eyes now. Oh God, my Father, turn me to fire now. Turn me to fire. Turn me to fire. Turn me to fire. Turn me to fire. My God and my Father, turn me now to fire. In the name of Jesus. Father, turn me to fire. Lord, turn me to fire.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.